This is the time to remember, stop all Goyim division. What is the real issue right here? It's Jewish supremacy in Israel, using England, using the United States for their bidding, trying to summon the Antichrist. Every other aspect of the Goyim division is serving that greater purpose. It's helping them out. For the Antichrist to arrive, they need world corruption. Let's get to the main issue right now. They are trying to get to the end of time. Not schizo, this is bigger than geopolitics. This is about greater Israel, and it's about the Messiah. It's about who the true Messiah is. This has been going on for thousands of years. Christians and Muslims, no more. No more Goy wars.
فریاد شیاطین جهان خار یهودی بیرون زده از حنجره شاه سعودی بیرون زده از حنجره شاه سعودی تکفیری و وهابی و داعش شده همدست اینها همه زیر سر شیطان بزرگه تا روح خدا در دل این خاک دمیده تا روح خدا در دل این خاک دمیده دشمن به دنیا شده آماده یک جنگ جهانی دنیا شده آماده یک جنگ جهانی فریاد شیاطین جهان خار یهودی بیرون زده از حنجره شاه سعودی بیرون زده از حنجره شاه سعودی تکفیری و وهابی و داعش شده همدست اینها همه زیر سر شیطان بزرگه تا روح خدا در دل این خاک دمیده تا روح خدا در دل این خاک دمیده دشمن به خودش یک شب آرام ندیده دشمن به خودش یک شب آرام ندیده کم کم همه جا میرسد آوای حسینی بین المللی میشود این ارث خمینی آرام و قراره همه یک کفر به هم خود بیداری اسلامی دنیا که رقم خود با ما سخن از جنگ مگو ما که نمردیم ما پاسختان را به دم تیغ سپردیم از منطقه ما حذف شده واژه تسلیم در شام و عراق و یمن آماده جنگی
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Glad to be back. Happy to be here. Kick is down right now. I am back in New York City, back in my setup. Just got off of a flight. Well, not just I took a nap, but I'm supposed to be in Dubai right now. Can you guys hear me? Kick is not working on my computer for some reason, but it is what it is. We're live on YouTube and Kick. I guess we'll figure it out as it goes. Put GLM in the chat if you can hear me. GLM in the chat if you can hear me right now. So Israel just struck Tehran early this morning at about 7 a.m. London time, which might have been 1 or 2 a.m. on the East Coast in America. And I did predict this 2 weeks ago. I said word for word, come back to this video when after the Epstein files release, we will realize that Netanyahu was applying pressure on Trump. And Netanyahu came to America saying, if you don't bomb Iran, we are going to release the rest of the files. And within 2 weeks it happened. About 2 months ago, or a couple weeks ago as well, I said that Israel/the US will strike Iran within a month or two. And here we are. For the past several years, I've been saying no war with Iran, no war with Iran. You know, obviously there's a lot of people that perhaps believed in Trump I was very critical of Trump in his second campaign. And then when it became clear he won, decided put on the red hat, and I debated Rabbi Shmuley, tried to wake up as many people in the MAGA movement as possible by saying America first cannot happen until we put Israel last. So if anybody has any doubt over what we serve, they say that Israel is our ally, but we're clearly a colony. We're doing their bidding. More events have taken place after this strike. I was supposed to be in Dubai, and now the airport has just been hit. The Palm Jumeirah, the 5 Palm Hotel, I've stayed the first time I went to Dubai, I stayed in that hotel. That was hit. This is a major tourist attraction, place where a lot of British people go. It's known for having a lot of tourists in the lobby, to be perfectly honest with you. A lot of the other Gulf countries have been hit. They've been struck by Iran, including Kuwait, including Bahrain, and the Strait of Hormuz has also closed. That's the strait that controls the canal where all the oil, 20% of the world's oil comes from. And once again, I said that Maduro was captured by Trump in early January when Trump had an operation where he kidnapped the president of Venezuela, that they were only doing this to get more oil because they really wanted to strike Iran. They needed to supplement the loss of oil. So the world's economy is going to change now if the Strait of Hormuz is closed, which it is. This regime change in Venezuela was really all about Israel, as is pretty much every single aspect of American foreign policy. There have been further strikes. Iran has been hit many times. Israel is bragging about it. The Jews are celebrating in Israel for their Shabbat, dancing, jumping up and down. They're now claiming that Khamenei is dead. We haven't been shown any real evidence of this. I don't think he is dead, and I'm not going to believe a word they say. You have to remember that everything they say, they're incentivized to lie. So this seems like it is the crux for World War III. This is the catalyst. You could say that it was the 12-day war in summer of 2025 when Trump/Israel and the U.S., they work as one now. And even when you see Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, step in and say that they're now joining the war, most of the West are all in support of Israel. And this was, it's a major shock. And I have to say, from a personal point of view, you guys saw me say my plan. I just got back from London. It's Ramadan right now. It's also Lent, Ramadan Kareem. There's a lot that I need to talk about. One, no more infighting. For the Christians, it's time to remember the issue. Jewish supremacists are controlling America. Jewish supremacists are the ones bringing us into this war. Trump said in a speech, there might be casualties, but it's a part of warfare. And ever since the Epstein files released, people cared about it for a week or two. And then there's been so much infighting. There's been people talking about dogs, so much misdirection. People talking about ICE, people talking about Mexico. And all this was a strategic, coordinated effort to get the Goyim speaking about things other than the major issue going on. This is more than just what's geopolitical. This is eschatology in religion, meaning this is part of the end times, right? All of this has been predestined. All of this is eschatology in Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. We can't keep being divided over silly things. In 2028, J.D. Vance is going to run against Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom just mentioned clavicular on a podcast really soon. We got to remember what's important here. We can't let J.D. Vance, we can't let the GOP keep bringing us into these wars. We're not going to support J.D. Vance. Obviously, you guys know I'm Muslim. I only put God first. Muslim means a servant of God. I tried to order something, and it went to the London hotel, and they keep on calling me. It means servant of God, and that's what I put first. But geopolitically, and in this world here, I put America first. This is my country. I woke up this morning and I had this weird feeling. I had this strange feeling that I should not go to Dubai. Wallahi. You guys, and I've detailed the plan. The plan was to go from London, because during Ramadan I do this every year. I go to London. I went to Lebanon last year. I went to Morocco. I go to Saudi Arabia several times a year, and now we're seeing that even Riyadh was hit. Some of this could be misinformation, but we saw that Riyadh was struck. Dubai has definitely been struck. There have been strikes around the Burj Khalifa. Palm Jumeirah, you guys, you know that I've streamed there. I had this weird feeling that I should go back to America. One, because I was seeing how much we were being divided within our own country. People yelling about stupid things, and especially when the Jewish supremacists try to get Christians on their side, their tactic is to create an us versus them mentality and to demonize Muslims. But Muslims and Christians have so much in common that I don't see it worthwhile to focus on what we have different than us. And I know some people will criticize and say that, okay, that you've been attacking, that you've been, in my point of view and from my perspective, I've only been defending when Christians are attacking. But at this point, and I'll be straight up, I spoke to Nick Fuentes and I'm like, this petty back and forth that we're doing, but a lot of it is like intellectual sparring and it's fun and it's content, and he's still a good friend of mine. But he is a perfect example of somebody that I align with politically almost completely. America first cannot happen without putting Israel last. I've been saying this. I'll show you all the tweets where I've been saying this. You guys know that I've been consistent with this. I spoke at Fuentes rally too. But the reason that I respect him so much outside of our personal friendship is that he has the strongest political movement in America to destroy that AIPAC alliance and to get rid of that Israel is our greatest ally mentality. We need to get rid of that. And by extension, Palestine can be free. And then we won't be getting into wars like this. Trump campaigned on no new wars. Trump was the America First candidate in 2016, and people like me supported him because he was critical of the mistakes that we made in Iraq. And now he's abandoned all of that. And it seems, and there's really no other explanation that he's doing that just to appease his Jewish supremacist handlers. He's 80 years old. Trump is 80 years old and would rather sacrifice his own citizens. He would rather bring us into another war in the Middle East, identical to the others that we've seen over the past several decades, because he does not want his reputation to be tarnished by the blackmail footage being released from Epstein Island. That's what type of man is in charge of our country right now. And I saw Aiden say that, it could happen with any president, and that is true. Biden has said the same things. Kamala said the same things. They keep running with the narrative that Iran should not have nuclear weapons. Iran should not have nuclear weapons. Well, Israel has nuclear weapons. What do we stand to gain from them? Even Matt Walsh, a guy that I've been extremely critical of, and I think has sold out his country by, one, working for someone who's basically a Mossad agent, Ben Shapiro. Even he's starting to say, okay, they say this war is good for Israel, but how is that good for us? They're using us. Israel is using us to do their bidding. Iran is the last real threat in the Middle East. Every other nation surrounding Israel, because the whole world hates Israel. Every single nation, they've all been destabilized around. Every real threat. They've either been compromised or either supporting directly, as Iran says. I won't say that because, I still love to go to the UAE and Saudi. But the narrative is that the Gulf countries have sold out, and as we saw in the chat, have sold out and just work for Israel. But the rest of them that the rest of the nations around that pose somewhat of a threat, they've all just been destabilized. They don't pose any real threat to Israel, and their very clear objective to expand a greater Israel. What they want to do is extend from the Euphrates to the Nile. They want to be the global superpower. And America is not in the long-term pictures there. We're just a little tool for them. And so, yeah, maybe I sound a little bit shook right now, but imagine what it's like for me. You guys knew what I was supposed to do. I was going to go to Saudi for Eid and to go on a pilgrimage. Oh, that's canceled. I can't go. I'm supposed to be in Dubai right now. As I was preparing the stream, I see the airport is on fire. But not only that, the airspace is closed. And it was just this weird feeling. And I never had, as soon as I saw the strikes, we were already packing. I had this feeling that I need to go back to America. People are trying to divide Muslims too much. I need to fix up the messaging. I had some great streams in London with Mohammed Ajab, with Ali Dawa, with Aki Yemen. It was great. And I thought it was effective, but it's like, instead of going all in, I was thinking strategically. Right now is extremely important, not only for the Muslim, but especially for America. For what's going to happen with this war. And so I said, okay, I'm going to go back to New York City right now. I need to be in America. And I booked there was a flight within an hour, and I got on it. And while we're packing, I saw Israel strikes Tehran, Iran. Incredible. Changing all the plans like that. I had the hotel set up. I had the flight set up. I was ready to go. Tom Khan was waiting for me in Dubai. So that's why it's a little bit strange. Maybe there's something spiritual there. If Kick is down for you, then YouTube is still up. It's down for me as well. You're on Iranian news. I know there's lots of things that I need to cover, but yeah, I'm glad to be back, and it's important to reiterate what our objective is here and what this is about with Love Speech. It's God first. Geopolitically, it's America first. It's not fascism. It's not Hassan Piker, who's now saying it's Jewish supremacy. He's called me a Nazi for several years, encouraging my deplatforming, trying to ruin my life and my reputation by misrepresenting what I'm about. Now he's saying it's Jewish supremacy. Quote tweeting Zishan Ali, a friend of mine. He runs a YouTube channel called Smile to Jannah. Yes, it's Jewish supremacy. Look at the Epstein files. They call everybody else Goyim. The U.S. and Israel, they act like there's some tie, like there's some Judeo-Christian values. There's no values. Netanyahu will go on the Nelk podcast and say, Burger King, it's regulated. They don't think of us as equal. People like Netanyahu see you as a subhuman Goyim. They want to summon their Messiah. It goes much further than fascism, which is a political ideology. This is the acceleration of what is destined. This is the end times here. And I'm not trying to be doom and gloom and say that it's going to start now, but all of this is necessary, and all of this was outlined in the Quran and in Hadith. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that this was going to happen. Are we back? We're back. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that this was going to happen. Okay. They're lagging the stream. Are we okay? Are we effing? Are we good or no? How's your health? I haven't been sleeping much. We're back? Okay. Yeah, I haven't been sleeping much. I've just been focusing on this. I took a little nap and I came right to the stream. So if we understand, do we understand where we are with this and what's really going on? Even then, like yesterday in the stream with Muhammad Ajab and Ali Dawa, I was outlining this completely. So let's go. I'm going to go through. There's a lot of news to cover, and there's definitely going to be updates during the stream because this is unfolding in front of our eyes right now. Let me show you what I've been covering, and well, here the first thing. Proud of you. Well, welcome to the members in the chat. I appreciate everybody here. I don't know if Kick's working. I just have YouTube open right now. I'm not making the money that I would, but this is more important, isn't it? It's still effing? Are we okay? What's going on? Is the bitrate fine? Okay, the chat stopped. What's going on? Are we okay? Yeah, are we okay? We should be. Okay, the chat's a little bit behind. Okay, here we go. So this is happening right here. This is the Burj Khalifa. An example of the end times. Let me read to you and explain why it's bigger than just politics. There's a hadith where it says, in the end of times, the Arab world will build skyscrapers and compete to build the tallest building in the world. In the Arab region, the Arabs will compete to build the tallest building in the world. Meaning that they're going to forget their deen, that they're going to forget they'll forget the ummah and focus on the dunya. And right here, the tallest building in the world, this is the Burj Khalifa. This is the Gulf, right? These are the people that the Iranians are saying have abandoned their people and have decided to support Israel. Here is the Dubai International Airport right now. This is where I'm supposed to be right now, if I did not randomly get that. And Dubai, to contextualize it, Dubai is supposed to be the safest city in the world, the safest city in the world. You can wear your Rolex around you, and you can put it on a supercar, and you're going to be fine. Nobody's going to touch it. Everybody saw this as an untouchable city. Some of the most international travel happens in Dubai. Everyone has seen it. People don't even consider it as part of the Middle East. So many people in the West, they just see it as this place away from any of the wars and everything bad happening in the Middle East, and see it getting struck just like that. Imagine what those crypto scammers are feeling like right now. Imagine being one of those course grifters in Dubai right now, seeing like they moved there from Miami, trying to get in, and they're there. But I hope safe. I'm prayers for everybody out there. I have a lot of friends in Dubai. I hope you're okay. I'm seeing a lot of people, and let's be real for a second. Let's be absolutely real for a second. So many people that are undyingly supporting Dubai are probably getting paid by the UAE. They issued a statement saying that they didn't want citizens to be posting videos of the bombs because they don't want bad PR. PR is extremely important for Dubai because they see it as an international city. They want as much tourism as possible. It generates a lot of revenue that way. So many of the talking heads that are within the UAE are probably getting paid. So I don't know how much you could actually take what they're saying about what's going on there completely literally. And I love UAE. I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. This is very obvious. And a lot of people are public about that. They're public about taking money like that. And even when it comes to, I'll take it a step further, even when it comes to Saudi, who apparently Riyadh's been struck, this is the capital. All right, they have the holy cities in Saudi Arabia, Mecca and Medina. We saw in the Epstein files that a piece of the Kaaba was sold to Jeffrey Epstein. And apparently, allegedly, this is done by some Saudi officials. Let's be real about Saudi Arabia for a second. I won't say anything bad about that, but people understand why in Saudi Arabia the criticism is very low. The criticism from other people about Saudi Arabia is that they have abandoned their Muslim brothers in Palestine and decided to side with Israel. They see them as joining in with the great Satan. When the Iranians burned the statue of Baal last week, they depicted Trump, Netanyahu, and Mohammed bin Salman. And so they think that these Gulf countries, they have prioritized wealth. They have sided with the enemy. They have decided to join this. And so people wonder why, okay, well, why is the Arab world not supporting Palestine? Why are they not supporting? Because even Hamas, the resistance, Hamas has this terminology attached to it. According to the UN, to the United Nations, if Israel has the right to defend itself, so does Palestine. Iran is the only nation that was supporting the resistance to Palestine financially. It was the only, so they say it's a proxy and they're supporting terrorism. IDF is the biggest terrorist state. It was literally started off of terrorist groups. They commit the most terrorist acts. The definition of terrorism is violence for religious or political motive. That is what Israel is. Iran is the only one that's been supporting the resistance there.
Look into Karbala and what happened to Prophet Muhammad's grandson. It explains Iran today.
And so people are speculating too about is the Mahdi going to arrive now? Is there going to be a Muslim leader? Because what's also eschatology is that there's going to be a Muslim leader that are from the descendants of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There'll be a descendant that unites the Muslim world right now, because the Muslim world is more divided than it's ever been in history. It's never been like this. It's never been this way. And maybe there's a lot of Sunni Muslims that are watching this, but I have to say it. I stand with my Shia brothers 100%. There's not going to be any criticism from my mouth on the Shia brothers. None. Especially when you see what they say about, look at the Sunni countries. What's going on? Where has their support been for Palestine? Where has why did they join up? And why does it seem like they have allied with Israel?
Already made in Iran war is all theater. Israel's scared of China only.
That's not true. Okay. So I want to go through some of my tweets and then I have to cover. There's a lot to cover, and I'm sure this is going to make sure to send me links. We'll cover this as we continue. So this is my prediction. This was in February 10th. This is 18 days ago. Did you see this? Let's see what I said. Let's see what I said 18 days ago. So now he's arrived. He's in the country, and what he's going to do, I'm telling you right now. Remember this when it happens. He is going to apply extreme pressure behind the scenes to tell Trump, if you don't go to war with Iran right now, we are going to make you look like the pedophile that these files can make you look like. We are going to ruin your life, and we are going to expose the entire government. Trump already thinks that he's going to hell. He said this on a plane. He does not think he's going to heaven. Trump already said, when Mark Levin put his arm around him, I'm the first Jewish president. It's true. It's true. That's the final nail in the coffin right here. Well, there you go. I said come back to this, and when this was first posted, People are saying, oh, why are we going to take this seriously? But that's 100% why it was released right now. They had these Epstein files for almost 10 years. This is all strategic. They control every aspect of our government, of every aspect of our media.
Trump say they killed Khamenei.
Yes, Trump and Netanyahu, Israel saying they killed Khamenei. And during the stream, I'm sure we're going to find out more about this. I don't think Khamenei is dead. I don't believe it. I think right here, the goal, and let's see if my last prediction was correct. I think the goal with saying Khamenei is dead is to demoralize the Iranians. I think it's to demoralize people that are hating that we're going into this war. I think it's to get Americans to not be as anxious as they are that we're going into another Middle Eastern war. I don't believe this until we see footage of it. And then there's a couple things that can happen. Iran could release a video of Khamenei speaking and claiming that he's not dead. But one, it could be AI. And two, they probably recorded tons of footage and tons of speeches for every single event because they knew this was coming. From my perspective, I think that they've recorded videos for every single event. But you can't believe these people until we have actual proof, right? They need people to be demoralized. Public support is so important on this war. It's all about optics. It's all about how many people can they get to believe that they are on the right side of history. To explain, what did Iran post and what did Israel post right after the strikes that Israel and the U.S. made on Tehran? Iran said, let the world know that we did not start this war. The IDF tweeted, Israel has the right to defend itself. Israel has the right to defend itself. After they bomb you and after they start celebrating and dancing during Shabbat, they say we have the right to defend ourselves. They constantly play the victim while being the aggressor. They lie to you to your face while they bomb the entire world. Iran wants you to know this was not us. There was an attempt for peace negotiations. We were not the aggressor. We retaliated when we were struck. We are not the ones that are acting as terrorists. Because in the Quran, it says that we're supposed to act in self-defense. We're not supposed to kill indiscriminately. We're not supposed to murder other people that are different than us. If we're attacked, then we're supposed to attack back. We're supposed to fight back. And that's what being a religion of peace is about. You can't maintain peace if you don't protect yourself. Iran did not start this war. Thank you for the super chat. Saudi Arabia arrested Imam of Kaaba, Sheikh Saleh Taleb, in 2018 because he criticized concerts in there. They arrested Sheikh because he criticized cartoons about Prophet Muhammad in Denmark. They are still in prison. Yeah, I'm not going to speak about that too much, and maybe you can understand why. I love going to Saudi Arabia because I love to see the holy cities of Medina and Mecca. And maybe this is all part of God's plan.
Lawmaker doesn't care about law. Epstein files are distraction. China will retaliate them.
Put the TTS at $50. And maybe this is all truly Allah is the best of planners. Maybe I'm supposed to go to Hajj. Maybe I'm supposed to go to Hajj this year and see when the Mahdi is revealed instead of going to Umrah again during Ramadan. You know, maybe I've been avoiding Hajj so much because I can supplement that in my head by going to Umrah during Ramadan. Maybe I'm supposed to go to Hajj and this wasn't supposed to happen right now. Allah is the best of planners. Why am I in New York City right now instead of in Dubai? I am supposed to, do you guys type a 1 in the chat if you saw that plan? I said publicly that my plan was to go from London to Dubai to Saudi Arabia. And randomly I got this feeling to change everything completely and fly right back home to New York City. An hour later you see this. Allah is the best of planners. And I also think that they're doing this during Ramadan because we can't forget that it is Ramadan. This is another humiliation tactic and part of the plan from the greater state of Israel, from these Jewish supremacists that are trying to destroy the world. They know that during Ramadan, this is when the Ummah is more united than ever. And there's been so much of an effort to divide the Muslim world, to get them to support different countries, to say Israel has the right to defend itself. Ramadan is when we are united, when spiritually we're on the same page about things. And look at this right now. You see Pakistan and Afghanistan, they're at each other. The Gulf countries are getting bombed by Iran. There's strikes in Dubai. Saudi Arabia is being hit. They're saying Khamenei's dead. The Middle East is up in flames. Not completely, but we're seeing strikes all over the Middle East right now. And the Ummah's being distracted, and so there's not a coincidence that this happens during Ramadan. And so I think, yes, let's pay attention to this, but let's make an extra effort to protect your deen right now. Protect your deen when they know that that's what they need to destroy. In 2002, when Israel hijacked Palestinian TV stations, what did they broadcast on the TV? Propaganda? No, they showed porn because they knew that this was a tool that they could use to separate your soul, to demoralize you. When they torture captured prisoners in Iraq and they use tortured soldiers to create ISIS and Al-Qaeda to have a regime change. And then Trump brags about it and says that he was able to control Syria. I put the new leader in charge, and he's former Al-Qaeda. You realize, wait, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, these terrorist groups, this has nothing to do with Islam. This is part of MK Ultra. This is part of a greater project. This is the CIA funding this. They're trying to, and to get them to work as super soldiers, to work with weapons like that, they torture them, and they sexually humiliate them. They sodomize these people until they no longer are even soulless beings. So protect your deen right now. You said, Zia says, the Hadith says, the world would be filled with injustice before the Mahdi arrives. It gets a lot worse before his arrival. Allah is the best of planners.
Allah is the best of planners.
Yes.
Find solace in the greatness of your Creator.
Allah is the best of planners. But yes, when it goes to eschatology, I know there's a lot of non-religious people here, but for the Mahdi to arrive, before Jesus returns, if the Messiah comes, I've been learning a lot more about eschatology. I'll get into that more into the stream. I don't want to get banned early on. But the world would be filled with injustice. And the Mahdi will arrive when the Muslim world is extremely divided. He's going to unite the Ummah again. To me, it seems like that this could be. I've never seen it like this. Obviously, I'm a new revert. But if the Mahdi was going to arrive to unite the Muslim world when it's extremely divided, and when the Jewish supremacists have taken over, is that not now? Real Muslims are waiting for Jesus. Yes, and then Jesus comes. Someone said slow news day. Absolutely not. So yeah, I just came back from London, as you guys understood. We were raising money for the Lent Ramadan charity. I want Christians and Muslims to unite. That's the whole objective with love speech. And I tweeted, Trump at 80 years old will rather drag America to World War III than have his Epstein blackmail footage released. Fuck Israel and fuck all their supporters. Fuck Israel. Fuck Israel. Trying to get you to say, condemn Hamas. Trying to get you to say that Israel has the right to exist.
SNEAKO, let us all do a duet for the whole of Ummah now.
You can. Let me do my show. Maybe I will, not right now. I just don't want people. I'm thinking about the optics constantly, and people are going to say it's performative and stuff. U.S. Israel bombs Iran, so Iran responds to bombing Sunni civilizations despite attempts by latter to de-escalate. This is a Resistar Khan game they've been playing for decades. Iran gains legitimacy in Islamic world for military expansionism by theatrical solidarity with Palestine. This is the hardcore Sunni position, or not. I wouldn't even say Sunni, the hardcore Sunni position, but just a hardcore anti-Shia position. But remember, Iran was the only state that was supporting Palestinian resistance. Iran is the only real threat to Israel right now. If you think that Iran is just doing this to expand and to separate from the Sunnis, then how come the rest? Where's the rest of the Arab world when it comes to stopping what Israel was doing in Palestine and it still is doing? Where are they? Where are our leaders? Where's anybody that's speaking up against this injustice? It's invisible. Let's be real. Iran right now, and the reason that they've been dying to bomb Iran so bad, Israel and the U.S., is because it's the last real threat. Yet they might not be perfect. You might disagree with them, have small disagreements. But right now, talking about Sunni Shia is exactly what they want. They want more division from the Goyim. This is the time to remember, stop all Goyim division. What is the real issue right here? It's Jewish supremacy in Israel, using England, using the United States for their bidding, trying to summon the Antichrist. Every other aspect of the Goyim division is serving that greater purpose. It's helping them out. For the Antichrist to arrive, they need world corruption. Stop all Goy division, all of it. If there's ever been a wake-up call to stop these petty fightings, yes, you might disagree about small things. And when I get people in here like, oh, Wahhabi and Salafi and Shia, talk about ICE. What about Catholics and Orthodox and back and forth? And yes, I've not been perfect about this too, going back and forth with Christians about small things. But there was an extremely important moment that I had with Muhammad Hijab and Ali Dawa when we were doing the stream yesterday. When I started talking about Jewish eschatology, started talking about Epstein, started talking about the Rothschild family, the central bank system, and all the connections and what it has. Not only did more people come into the stream and more people seem united, but we came to realize that all the division and with Christians, it's so useless, and it's creating better fights, and the same people are rubbing their hands together that we're doing what they want us to be doing. In the Quran, Allah says the greatest ally of the Muslims is the Christians, that we are the closest. Muslims and Christians, Allah says this in the Quran. Muslims and Christians are the closest. So let's use, instead of trying to convince, oh, you Trinity this, Jesus is not God. Okay, you're going to believe this, but that's not the main important issue. You can do the dawah later. You can get to the arguments later and to the division later. Let's get to the main issue right now. They are trying to get to the end of times. Not schizo. This is bigger than geopolitics. This is about greater Israel, and it's about the Messiah. It's about who the true Messiah is. This has been going on for thousands of years. Christians and Muslims, no more. No more Goy wars. This is the stuff that pissed me off. So Tate tweets, as soon as the strikes happen, Tate tweets, nobody wants this war. Tate, you have tech teams in Israel. You have tech teams in Israel. You said, you and your brother allegedly said that your tech teams in Israel can pull the plug on your business at any second. That's why SNEAKO did it. The song's inappropriate. You spent a whole Jewish podcast apology tour pointing the finger at me because of a song that offended the people that brought us into this war. You didn't spend the podcast tour talking about Epstein, talking about the Iran war, talking about the regime change mistake in Venezuela. In fact, you were waving around a gun, Andrew Tate, saying, yes, American empire, thank you, Trump. Now the Strait of Hormuz is closed. Why is that? Because they said, if you strike Iran, we're going to cut off the oil supply. Where does U.S. and Israel get other oil? From Venezuela. Dipshit. You fell for the propaganda. We need to invade Greenland. America's good. And then you're trying to run for Prime Minister of England? What side are you on? Are you a Muslim, or do you have tech teams in Israel? Are you America first or Britain first? Are you a Zionist, or what are you? Or are you just talking? Nobody wants this war. Now you say it after it starts? Then maybe you should have been waving around a gun and doing no criticism of Trump at all. Yes, regime change, more wars, take it all. $2 to $3 billion from that regime change in Venezuela, from taking that oil. It went to Israel. They're supplementing that loss from the Strait of Hormuz. Completely. Is he going to correct himself on that? No. You have to come to, you can't try to please everybody. You can't be against this war and have tech teams in Israel. If you want this war to stop, call up your tech teams in Israel and say stop bombing the rest of the world. Remember this too. Patrick McDavid sucked Netanyahu dry. Patrick McDavid, okay, I'm a numbers guy. This war is good. Okay, pull up that clip, Adam. So 80% of Iranians support this war. So PBD, go back to Iran now. Go back now. What, they're saying that Khamenei's dead? That they killed the supreme leader? Then go back. Patrick McDavid comes into my country, our country, and starts trying to encourage us to get into another war. Bringing Netanyahu on his podcast, pushing Judeo-Christian values. Okay, fine. Iran is against the supreme leader. Now you're free to go leave. Go back to your country now. How many more times do we need to get pulled into these wars because of people like PBD pretending to be America first while we make the same exact mistake again? Netanyahu's on your podcast with no real pushback, saying that we need to put a roast to go clean up his image. I'm a numbers guy. I'm a numbers guy. How much does the flight cost? I'll buy it for you. First class. Go back to Iran now. Who else? Trump cheering for Trump wars. War's good. Piers Morgan saw the Epstein files and he said, well, could it be, allegedly, could it be Russia that's behind Epstein? No, it's Israel behind it. That's why Trump's getting into it. That's why all these politicians support it. Israel has pedophile blackmail on the majority of influential people in our country. It's a fact. Allegedly. He says he works for the Rothschilds. He says the Goyim should work in the real world. Epstein said the Goyim should work in the real world. We'll work in finance. We'll let the goy do all the hard work. Ehud Barak is visiting his estate. He's saying he has a meeting set up with Netanyahu. Epstein's girlfriend is Ghislaine Maxwell. Her father is Robert Maxwell, Mossad terrorist, founder of Israel. These people are so clearly part of that terrorist Israel state. It's not Russia. In fact, Putin's doing the right thing right now. He said that this was incorrect. Putin said this shouldn't have happened. And we're supposed to hate Putin for some reason. The FIFA World Cup is supposed to say that, oh, Russia's evil so they can't go compete in our soccer goy slop games, right? And then FIFA says, let's go build stadiums in the Gaza Strip. They pretend to be morally good by saying Russia is evil because they're going to war with Ukraine. Okay. Then why is Israel allowed to go play in the qualifiers, and then now you're going to build stadiums after they just genocided and wiped out almost an entire civilization? Fuck FIFA. And fuck people who are trying to make it seem like how is Putin the bad guy in this situation? What did he do? I'm supposed to hate him? Do you even remember why you're supposed to hate Putin? Matt Walsh is such a good goy. Matt Walsh, look, you're a white Christian, right? You want America first. Your platform single-handedly allowed for this to happen. Your lack of criticism on Trump, working for Ben Shapiro, never criticizing Israel, it allowed for this to happen. Even then, you were super happy about that Venezuela oil, about that regime change. Monroe Doctrine. Yeah, where did that oil go? Look at the Strait of Hormuz, it's closed. Good goy, Matt Walsh. Well done. Your platform was used for Israeli propaganda. If you were really America first, you'd quit Israeli Wire. You would slap your boss in the face, knock that kippah off his head, and say America first cannot happen without putting Israel last. But you don't. You still work for him. Pick a side. And Ben Shapiro's basically Mossad. Remember these sellouts. 2025, I tweeted, Iran is not our enemy. Why is Iran not our enemy? One, Khamenei's not in the Epstein files. What did he do? Around the same day that the Epstein files were exposed, where you see Elon Musk is trying to jump up and down and go to the island. Trump is saying, Epstein, terrific guy. He likes beautiful women. Some of them very young, very young. Khamenei was at Quran recitation. Khamenei was speaking in a masjid, celebrating the beginning of Ramadan. I'm supposed to think that he's the evil one? Why is Trump the good guy and Khamenei's the bad guy? They say, oh, Iran says death to America. Well, why do they say death to America? Oh, maybe because they're partnering up with Israel, the great Satan trying to destroy the world. They say death to America. And then we see that so many of these protests, like the protests in Iran, here's the second major argument that they want to get you to believe. Remember this, Americans in the chat. They want to get you to believe that all these protesters are being killed. It's so evil going on. Everybody in Iran, they hate the supreme leader. They hate the Ayatollah, right? Then Mike Pompeo, former deputy director of the CIA during Trump's first administration, what does he say when all these protests go on in Iran and you see they're firebombing masjids? He says that these protests in Iran are completely infiltrated by CIA and Mossad. These protesters had false actors, had agitators, paid agitators to create mob mentality and to create this narrative that the people of Iran need to be freed from the evil authoritarian dictator. The CIA director said this, former CIA director Mike Pompeo, said it was CIA Mossad. Every time they need to go to war, they need a catalyst, they need a reason. Iraq, rest of the Middle East, in 2001, what was it? It was 9/11. Now we learned about 9/11. So potentially there's going to be another false flag attack here. We'll see what happens, but we're going to pay close attention to that. Khamenei dead. We're going to get into that. We're going to see if that source is real. Iran just announced that? Did they really? No, it's not coming from Iran. It's coming from Trump. It's coming from Trump. Ya Allah. Oh my God. Do you have to give me ads for World War III? Jesus, I'm such a goy. Look at that, bro. I have to accept cookies to figure out if we're going to war. Look at this, bro. We're such goy. Supreme leader of... Holy... I'm a goy. I gotta lower my cortisol right now. How do I turn this off? Whatever. I don't even want to read this anymore. Iran confirmed? Where's the source? Where is it coming? Is it coming from Iran? I don't believe it till we have proof from Iran. 3 minutes ago from the BBC, Trump says,
Khamenei's son Mujtaba would be a potential candidate. But the honest answer is we really don't know how this opaque political system works, who will be pushed to the position. Maybe we will not have a supreme leader. We may have a council of leadership. We may also have some sort of a hostile takeover, a coup-style takeover by the IRGC.
okay. Well, the quote here says Iran State TV says this. I want to see it come from Iran. We'll go look into these sources. Let me finish. We have to cover everything else. It seems like I'm still going to assume that it's speculative. I don't believe it. Is Kick still down? Oh, Kick's back up. Finally. Wait, I haven't even been looking at this. Is like the first stream. I'm only looking at the YouTube chat. I forgot we were live on Kick, to be honest. Are we still live on Kick? Yes, we are. Okay. Jackson Hinkle said it, so? Continuing on. Yeah, they strike during the holy month of Ramadan specifically to demoralize the Ummah when we're unified. Everything they accuse the Muslim of is actually being done by the Jewish supremacists of U.S. Israel. They say Muslims say death to America while Israel destroys and kills America. They say Muslims are terrorists and then Israel acts as the biggest terrorist in the world. They say Muslims are inbred and then look at these Israelis on TV when they're dancing, celebrating. They look like the most inbred, incest people that I've ever seen in my life. They say Muslims are pedophiles and then the Epstein files implicate Jewish supremacists trying to blackmail Americans. Jeffrey Epstein says himself he has 650 Jewish relatives and he has a recessive Jewish gene that makes him have the propensity to be a sex addict. It's like almost everything that they try to accuse the Muslim of is really happening from Jewish supremacists. No more infighting. Goyim must unite, never advance. Yes. Here's the prediction I had. Were you guys here for this debate? Do you remember this?
So when do you think the world ends?
I think the war in Iran is going to happen probably within the next 2-3 months. They're already putting out warnings for the Gerald Ford. This is the ship that patrols around Iran.
So the world's dead in a year. Basically.
No, not a year. Probably a couple hundred years. It's going to take time. But this is the first catalyst for World War III.
So
who's attacking Iran right now?
It's going to be U.S. is going to step in for Israel. Netanyahu just flew in for the 7th time. There's the most amount of times a foreign leader has ever came to America in any administration ever. In this term, Netanyahu's visited America, Mar-a-Lago, and D.C. 7 times. So right now he's meeting with Jared Kushner. Jared Kushner is a rich Jewish Zionist who married to Ivanka Trump. Ivanka Trump is Trump's daughter. So Trump is now part of the Jewish family, part of the Zionist family.
So when do you think the world ends?
No panic, no panic. No panic. Okay. I need to continue on and speak properly. Come on over to Kick Everybody. Click the link right here. Yeah, the way I'm speaking right now, and I have to show footage from the war and get into the death of Khomeini. It's going to be kind of violent. And I want to go unfiltered when I talk about this. I can't keep trying to dance around YouTube censorship. Go click. It's kick.com/SNEAKO. Join right now. I'm going to be live all night. I'm going to be live for a lot of hours. I have Warner pulling up later too. I'm going to be calling people. This is a very important stream. It's probably the most important stream I've had this year. Come click Kick right now. Come on over. Come on over. Are you guys over? Okay, are you guys here? Thank you for the sub. Let me make sure I get this correct. Hi, SNEAKO. I'm currently in Dubai. How is it right there? What else have I missed so far? What other important information have I missed? Obviously, the developments, we'll see the most important one about Khomeini we will cover as the stream goes on. I don't know. I was on the plane doing my research and preparing for this show. I just wanted to make sure that I get everything correct. Siringo wants to come on the stream. Let me send her. Did she really? Is she in Iran right now? Let me send her a DM. I would love to have her on. And who else should I bring on? Okay, have you guys come in from YouTube? Let me send her a DM. Okay, I gotta focus up. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit emotional right now, and I shouldn't be. Hello, DM'd her. Okay, well, let's lock in. Here from YouTube. Good. Okay. Yeah, now we're glad to be... Now I can finally see the chat and I can activate properly. It's hard to stream when I don't see it. All right. Continuing on. Important stuff. So yeah, this is Iran State TV. This is not the source that Khomeini's dead. But Iran State TV labeled me an American analyst while speaking about the war with Israel. This is about 2 weeks ago. This is the... I know, you know, people say, oh, SNEAKO, we want you to jester goon and do fun content. But this is the impact that our stream has. This is not recent. I did show you guys, just saying, what the fuck, what's going on? But Iran State TV is labeling me an American political analyst, right? Especially when I spoke about Modi and Netanyahu the other day. Indians were speaking about me as an analyst as well. Like, yes, I'm here as an entertainer and doing fun content, but yeah, this is bigger. Like, this is now becoming a news source to put this, like, this stream is becoming, they're saying that this is a source of news and is a source and a reference point for American thought. This is how you know it's Mossad/CIA.
می شود فهمید که موساد و سیا در این اتفاقات نقش داشتند. اگر هم فکر می کنید این توهم توطئه است، می توانید حرفهای مایک پومپئو را ببینید. رئیس سابق سیا، سال 9 میلادی بر همه ایرانیان در خیابان و همچنین عوامل موساد که کنارشان راه می روند مبارک باشد.
This is how you know it's Mossad/CIA. That language is so interesting. It has like an almost Asiatic tone to it. Here's what Hassan Piker finally said. And this was a quote tweet responding to my friend, Smail Tajana. Shout out to Zishan Ali of Smail Tajana. Hassan says this is Jewish supremacy. It's what Netanyahu said after October 7th. I think he spelled Netanyahu wrong. He spent all day, years talking about this guy. I can't even spell his name right. Well, Hassan, I've been telling you that it's Jewish supremacy for years, and you tried to get the ADL to destroy me by saying I'm a Nazi. Obviously, people here in our community and me, I'm not a Nazi. I don't hate all Jews. But to deny the very obvious aspect that Israel's not fascism, dipshit. It's about Jewish supremacy. Communism, fascism, these isms are meant to distract the goyim and get them talking about politics and money rather than the bigger issue. This is eschatology. This is the Quran. This is Islam and this is Judaism. This is the end times. This is coming of the Dajjal. This is about the Mahdi. This is about the coming of Isa, Jesus. Okay? Jewish supremacy is the reason that Israel exists. Remember that. Hassan, say it on stream. Jewish supremacy. Fascism. It's a fascist. You are helping them. They love when you say that because you distract from the bigger issue. It's not all Jews. We know that. Nobody's saying it is. But all over the Epstein files, when he's calling everybody goy, that means subhuman. Saying that they should work in the real world and we'll work in finance. Epstein's saying he represents the Rothschilds. What do you think these people believe? That they just want a fascist dictatorship? That they really hate Karl Marx and Hassan and his socialism? No. They want their own Messiah. They want to enact the third temple. They want the red heifers. They want to expand into greater Israel. Not because of a fascist alliance between the US and Israel. No. It's so that they can take over the world. Because they've rejected Jesus as the Messiah. It's Jewish supremacy. Take it a step further. You're Muslim, right? I'm a revert, Hassan. Why do you seem clueless about something that you should know about? Your name is Hassan. What happened? And this is what happens when you talk more about fascism and communism, all this stuff. You put on a dress to appease people that are free Palestine. And you know this is not what you're really about. Spending half your platform talking about transgender issues. This is so minuscule. It's nothing. They love when you speak about this. So I'm grateful. I'm happy, not grateful, that you finally say what it is. Call it like it is. And I don't need vindication or anything, but now's the time. Goyim unite. I said the same thing. I need an alliance with Christians. Even these free Palestine leftists. If Hassan is going to finally admit that it's Jewish supremacy after I've been telling him that for years, I don't need to do any beef or any ego or anything like that. I say that we should unite right now because they're going to try to destroy the world. And any division that we have, because at the end of the day, Hassan's goy too. Hassan's right about a lot of this stuff. Is he wrong about a lot too? True, but we don't need to fixate on that. I am willing to make an alliance. I've extended this olive branch how many times? How many times have I extended this over the years since October 7th and said, Hassan, we can try to work together? And instead, what does he do? He tries to call me a Nazi. He says, ADL, tries to feed me to the wolves at the ADL. and be the good goy on Twitch. I'm still banned on Twitch because of that rhetoric. Be trying to get me to be the fall guy. The way Tate tried to make me the fall guy for the club situation. SNEAKO did it. Hassan did the same thing. SNEAKO did it. Clock it. And get me banned. When the ADL wants him banned for, you know, where they say he promoted terrorists and stuff. If they're going to try to ban, let's be real for a second. They say Hassan promotes terrorism. I think anybody who's aligning with these Zionists, with these Jewish supremacists and platforming Netanyahu, I think they're promoting terrorism. Why don't you get banned on YouTube for promoting Netanyahu, for doing his Hezbollah movement, for pushing his propaganda? How you don't get banned? Burger King. They say people like Hassan platform terrorists. Okay, you can see why people say that, but then how come people don't get banned for bringing on Netanyahu when he's the biggest terrorist in the world? So I'm willing, but again, I don't know how many times I need to say this, but that's what's important right now. Iran just confirmed the death of their leader. Let's see. This is not from Iran. This is Remarks. What is this? A British publication? It's U.S. News. I don't believe this until. But we need to see real footage or something like that. You can't believe news, bro. You can't believe like these headlines. What? Okay, breaking. Iranian Supreme Leader Khamenei confirmed dead, senior Israeli officials say. Yeah, Israeli officials will say anything to get you to support them. You can't just believe this no matter what. What are you, stupid? And I'm not denying that we need a real source. Khamenei confirmation.
اول امت اسلامی حضرت امام خامنه ای با نوشیدن شهد گوارای شهادت در ماه مبارک رمضان به ملکوت اعلی پیوست. شورای عالی امنیت ملی در این زمینه بیانیه‌ای به این شهر صادر کرده است. بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم.
So to translate, he's saying a prayer right now. I don't speak.
نفسه الزکیه به ملکوت اعلی پیوست و به آرزوی دیرینه خویش رسید و به تعصیه از جد بزرگوارش امام علی صلوات الله علیه و سلامه علیهما در ماه مبارک رمضان با سر دادن ندای آسمانی فست و به رب الکعبه به ساحت مقدس الهی واصل گردید و شهد گوارای شهادت را در این ماه مبارک نوش نمود. امروز ملت نستوه ایران و امت اسلامی و آزادی خواهان جهان
Subhanallah. Iran announces 40 days of nationwide mourning and 7 days of public holiday in honor of Supreme Leader Khamenei. The Taliban is siding with Israel. Israel direct hit on Tel Aviv.
בבשורה הקשה הזו, על כך שנקבע מותה של הפצועה אנוש בפגיעה הישירה הזאת בתל אביב. נועם, עוד משהו שאנחנו יכולים להוסיף מכאן, רמז כאן, נדמה לי, מפכ"ל המשטרה בהצהרה שלו, קודם לכן, שכנראה יש כאן מרכיבים, ואני שוב מנסה להיות מאוד זהיר, נועם, שלא נתקלנו בהם עד עכשיו מבחינת החימוש הזה שפגע כאן בפגיעה.
נכון, אז אני באמת מנסה גם אני לבדוק למה הוא מתכוון, אני חייב להודות, אין לי אישור כרגע על...
אבל הייתה רמיזה לכך בדברים.
Every time I stream on Kick It, we talk about this. I just see so many idiot Americans saying stuff like this. I've been hearing this rhetoric my whole life. Throw the whole Middle East in a volcano. Like the Americans are so, the vast majority of Goy Americans are so stupid. Instead of analyzing what's going on, they just say bomb it all. Right? It confuses their stupid Goy brains. And so my whole life I heard them say, just bomb the whole Middle East. Just bomb the... It's not rage bait. I've heard this my whole life. I've heard this. Ever since the ISIS propaganda, since 9/11, the Iraq War, that's been like common Goy American idea. Continuing on. So FaZe Kason said, good riddance, free Iran. Good riddance, free Iran. Respectfully, you don't understand shit about this. You are fully brainwashed if you think this is good for Iran. Dark times are coming ahead. So you support genocide? How is this not good for Iran? Like, this is so stupid. When people say, the Twitter's like, you say, hey, don't eat apples. And they're like, what? So you just want to shove a banana in your ass? It's like, that's not what I said. Do you know who that man is and what he did to Iran, what he did to innocents? Yeah, Kason. If you don't see the bigger picture going on, obviously he's not perfect. But saying this is as stupid as, you know, like you could say that about any politician right now. Like people who get killed when they're in charge, especially in a time of war like this, right? Like, yeah, he's not a perfect leader, but what is the bigger picture going on? Why are they attacking Iran? Kason, are you that stupid to think that they tried to kill Khamenei, and if he is really dead, this is true, that this is about the protesters or the innocent Iranians, you stupid idiot? This is about greater Israel and getting rid of their last threat in the Middle East. Finishing the job that they've been doing for the past 30 years. Destabilizing Libya, Yemen, Lebanon, Iraq, Syria, every surrounding nation with missiles pointed, with their targets pointing right at Israel. Iran's the last one. They're the last one. What does Trump keep repeating? And we'll watch the speech in a second. He says, Iran should not have a nuclear weapon. And then Israel has nukes. Israel has the Samson option. They have the option, Israel right now, this is part of their doctrine, where they say if anti-Semitism gets too strong, they can bomb the whole world. That's what Israel's belief is. Iran is the only real threat there. And so many Iranians like Kason, this idiot, believes that it's about, oh no, free Iran. Marco Rubio is saying that. Marco Rubio is saying, free the people of Iran. What does Mark Rubio, this Cuban-American guy, give a fuck about Iran? What does Pete Hegseth, faking bench pressing, the Secretary of War, what does he care about the free people of Iran? There's people in America aren't free. And then now they care about the sovereignty of Iranian citizens? Wake up, dum-dum. Free Iran. So easy to brainwash these people. Have you considered how this would benefit Israel? Are you guys real human beings? People in Iran have been dying for decades under this dictator, and you think Iranians are dying? Okay, Kason, you stupid idiot. Now that the Ayatollah's gone, so you think that people are going to stop dying in Iran now? Not only just in Iran, see on a global scale. Now that Israel does not have a real threat in the Middle East if they win this war against Iran, what do you think is going to happen to the rest of the world? Didn't you grow up Shia or Muslim? What does it say about the end times, dum-dum? Or just you stream on Twitch too much and you forgot completely? They have their own Messiah. They need world corruption for this to arrive. They want to take over the world. This is in our eschatology. The Jewish supremacists, not all Jews, obviously. And now he's saying we just want peace and freedom in Iran. This doesn't happen because of this war. People really think that peace will arrive with this war and regime change? Peace will finally come. This is not about peace. Trump is not doing this because you really fell for the propaganda. If you think that this is about the Iranian protesters, that this is about Iranian people. Think for a second. Did you think Trump, Marco Rubio, Howard Lutnick, Pete Hegseth, Netanyahu give a fuck about Iranian civilians? Do you think they give a single fuck? People all over the Epstein files that are covering up for pedophilia, blackmail, the murder of the victims of girls that were coming forward about Epstein. You think they care about random Iranians? You think they care about Kason? This shit ain't politics. I'm Iranian. I have family in Iran. Fuck the supreme leader. He murdered innocents. Okay. This dude is just really, really dumb. And I think I mean, respect, I've met Kason before. I don't mean to crash out too much, but Kason, respectfully, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're not seeing the bigger picture, and you're falling for Trump slot propaganda, bro. This is the Kason we want. Look, the world made itself ready for another war. We hear the shouts of the world-eating Jews from the throat of the Saudi king. From Yahudi! This is 2023. I'm joking around. I don't support this. Breaking. So here's the footage. This is the first video. This is the first strike. This is in Tehran, the capital of Iran. And here's the translated Iranian state TV clip that Khomeini's dead.
Inna lillah و انا الیه راجعون. ملت بزرگ ایران، روح بلند پیشوای ملت بزرگ ایران و پیشقراول امت اسلامی حضرت امام خامنه ای با نوشیدن شهد گوارای شهادت در ماه مبارک رمضان به ملکوت اعلی پیوست. شورای عالی امنیت ملی در این زمینه بیانیه‌ای به این شهر صادر کرده است.
Yes, this is pretty clear confirmation, but let's remember, analyze it from the outside looking in. Iran is super divided about this, right? Look at who controls the media as well. What's to say that this, how is this complete proof? This is not complete proof, but it does look clear, bro. But I'm going to say that I really want specific evidence. Is that the same station? So is this the same station that they put me on as an analyst? It looks like the same one. Anyway, let's continue on. So here is the strikes on Tehran that happened. Well, okay, there's so much to cover. I want to speed through this. So this is happening right after the strikes in Iran. These are the Jews in a bomb shelter in Israel, right? They're all celebrating. It's a religious ceremony, and they look like they're dancing identical to the way that they were dancing, overlooking the towers falling in New York City. In Jersey City, after the second tower fell, a lot of Israelis were questioned that had connections to intelligence agencies. One, because they were wondering why there were a lot of suspicious activity, but one that's proven is that a lot of them were dancing on a van overlooking the second tower falling in New York City, close to right here from Jersey City. And it looks like they're almost doing the same dance right now in Israel. This is who these people are. Goyim get bombed. They start celebrating. Goyim die. They celebrate. In a bomb shelter. Safe. Comfortable. And this is even a religious gathering. This is not just a random people. This is their holy day. Shabbat, right? All have yarmulkes. They all have the tassels. Safe and sound. Happy that Iran... And does it look like here that they're supporting... Do you think that any of these people care about the people of Iran? Do you think they give a fuck that America's our ally? You think they want to free Iran? No, they know that this is going to expand. And the reason this is part of a religious ceremony is because this is religious to them. Not to all Jews, but to these right here. They're celebrating because more Goy death means it's closer to their arrival, the arrival of their Messiah. Why else? They're shitting themselves eat down. No, they're not. Hormuz is closed. So let me explain some of this real quick. Let's go explain what's going on. This is the Strait of Hormuz. And you can see the ships. This is the Strait of Hormuz right here, if you guys don't know. And so the Persian Gulf has access to so much oil. It's around 20% of the world's oil comes from here every single day. And so now that the strait is closed, because south right here is Dubai, and you have the Gulf countries, this is the UAE. And they really, it's imposing. You often forget how Iran is this giant country imposing, and it looks like it's looming over the Gulf countries. And what they're saying is that the Gulf countries have sold out their own people, that they work with Shaitan, they work with the state of Israel and the US. And so the threat has always been that if you bomb Iran, if the US, Israel bombs Iran, we're going to close the strait. Look at the ship activity now. The strait's closed. And so, as I said, when Maduro was kidnapped, the reason that they needed to get oil from Venezuela, the regime change was not about cocaine, was not about any of the things that they said about Maduro. They really wanted oil. But why? They wanted oil because they needed to supplement the loss that would come if Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz. Meaning, they needed oil so that they have another reason and another chess move to finally bomb Iran. Strait's closed. Economy's going to suffer. Europe's going to suffer. They give oil to a lot of Asian countries as well. So we have yet to see, is the oil in Venezuela, is this going to be good enough? Is it going to be... Like, nigga became a geopolitical expert overnight. Yeah, you're saying this, but I've been saying this. As soon as the Venezuela regime change happened, I said this word for word. Look back at my streams. Did I not explain this completely? I said this word for word. For months. Yeah, thank you for the people watching the stream. That's why we have record viewership right now. I mean, because I was right about this. And here's Hadith. The Jews lie. When Allah wants to create, nothing can prevent him. I'll go over some more Hadith later, but I was reading a lot more of that. And again, I like this. I retweeted this. Iran is the only state in the world that materially supports the Palestinians' right to armed resistance against occupation as recognized by the UN Resolution 3246. You can never make me hate Iran for this reason. And this is going on. This is the Goy activity. I was talking to Neon earlier because Neon was here doing the jester dance with Mr. Beast and Speed and this stuff. So while World War III, it seems like this is starting right now. The US and Israel are going into another war. You see all the streamers are getting involved to go stand in a fucking queue, bro. Just stand in a queue. But it's fine. Like, this is what streamers do. But then, like, you see the same streamers start to say, like, it's free Palestine and fuck ICE. Free Iran. It's like, just stay in your lane, you know? And never has this seemed more retarded than right now, has it not? Like, doesn't this, in comparison, a lot of these people in the 30s, you see Tifu and what's his name or whatever. Has this ever looked like more goy slop than right now? Seeing all the streamers who, you know, live and die for fame and money get together while World War III is happening to stand in a fucking cube to dance and tap dance to entertain the goyim with the stupidest content ever. None of these streamers are going to mention to Mr. Beast that he shouldn't be working with the Rockefeller Foundation, who's clearly on the side of the people bombing Iran and getting America to fight that war. Nobody here is going to criticize Mr. Beast for promoting Chris Tyson, which allowed so much normalization of transgenderism. Nobody here is going to criticize Mr. Beast. Look at Your Rage. Your Rage had all this to say. Your Rage, you made a big stance. It's fuck ICE and free Palestine. Okay, Mr. Beast is here right now. He just sided with the Rockefeller Foundation. He's just promoting an app right now to get teens to focus on their credit scores, to promote usury, literally targeted at children. Mr. Beast just made a video promoting fake chicken, which is all part of the end times as well. Christian and Islamic eschatology, that they're going to be reliant upon the state, right? AI surveillance. Again, Mr. Beast is being used by the AI surveillance team, the Peter Thiel cabal, to normalize our reliance on technology, to create fake societies, fake plants, eating fake chicken, all in a Mr. Beast burger. So the same people, yeah, it's free Palestine and fuck ICE. Who do you think the Rockefeller Foundation sides with? The one that Mr. Beast is partnered with? Why do you think Mr. Beast, even though Mr. Beast, one of his best friends' name is like Tarek, right? Tarek is a Palestinian man. Mr. Beast has the reputation as being the most philanthropic streamer, content creator in the space, right? Why has he not said a word about Palestine? He's such a generous guy. He's such a generous dude. He's never mentioned Gaza or Palestine. He's never mentioned it. He hasn't opened up a charity for that. But they're using his reputation as a really charitable guy so that everybody loves him, and then he can get all the goy streamers to get together and put their fucking hands on a cube. And so that he can push fake chicken and everybody will believe it because he's such an angel that even when he promotes Chris Tyson pushing HRT on children, people look away because he's such a great guy. It's controversial and not in his lane, but then these people should stop saying free Palestine, these frauds. Same thing here, Jason the Ween. Fuck ICE, free Palestine. If it's controversial and not in their lane, stop trying to get W's in the chat by saying nothing. Just saying what's popular on Twitch. Everyone here, look at that. Ooh, let's stand in a cube. And I'm not hating on it. Like, Neon's my friend too. A lot of these people I'm cool with. There's Ski Mask, Slumped Off, former rapper. I was talking to Neon about this, right? because he was asking, should he do Ramadan? I asked him afterwards, it's like, was this really worth it? Like, so what? You're famous now? What? What's the point of doing this? For money? Okay, you made some money, whatever. Now you can pay for more clippers and more employees. You're more famous. Now what? Are you satisfied? You got to like stand in a box with Speed and Marlon and shit. Now what? Now what? It's an empty pursuit. It's an empty pursuit. These are the most influential people with here. They're more influential than the news now, than celebrities. And they're all just standing in a cube together while World War III goes on. It's just, and I'm not like saying it's strategic or this happened on purpose. I don't think so. But just how funny it is. It's kind of poetic in a way. That these people could sway, like together, if all these people said the right things, they could sway public opinion. And they're standing in a cube for Mr. Beast instead. Literal brain rot. So, yeah, here's the strikes. Oh, I said I was going to detail the world map, what's going on right now. Okay, hold on. Let me go to Google Earth. Is that the best? Is it going to leak my location if I open up Google Earth? No. How do you use Google Explore Earth? Bro, everything is goy now. You have to like sign in and put. I can't even look at the Earth. Can't even look at the Earth. Here we go. Is it leaking my location? Will it leak my location if I show Google Earth on here? It's like, I feel like it's one of those things that would do that. It will? I don't see it on here. It is what it is. Okay. So let's explain what's going on. We're going to go cover the strikes, but here's my analysis. So, can you rotate a little better? It's a little hard. Yeah, so here's what's going on. Because most people who are even talking about Free Palestine, they don't even know where it is. So over here, you have Israel and Palestine. All right, there's Tel Aviv north, and you have Gaza south, right? This is really, according to Israel and the mainstream narrative, this is the only real place in Palestine right now. You also have the West Bank, which is over here. So it's divided by Israel. It used to all be Palestine, of course, right? And it's great real estate. You could consider this the center of the world. I think most people say Free Palestine can't even find on a map. But anyway, to the south, you have you have Egypt connecting here. You have Jordan. And then to the north, it should be, you have Lebanon, you have Beirut. I remember when we did the IRL stream and then it was struck right after. Okay, so let's go see what's happening right now. So Iran is right here. And really, when you look at the map, you get to understand the imposing threat that it has, because apparently Iran hates the Gulf countries, right? So much of the Ummah, they hate the Gulf countries. They say countries like the UAE, they say Saudi Arabia, they say Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait. They've all been bombed recently. Saudi Arabia, I can't confirm about Riyadh. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But I know for certain that Kuwait was hit, the airport and other facilities. Burj Khalifa in Dubai was hit, as well as the international airport and other hotels at a building close to the Burj Khalifa. They say Abu Dhabi was hit, right? And these are very rich cities in the UAE. Link the Khamenei tweet. You guys keep saying that. Yeah, I see you guys typing in the chat. Like, you could type the link and I can click it real quick. You also have Qatar, and you have Bahrain, which is an island. And so all these countries, this is part of the Gulf. They connect to the Persian Gulf, and this is where so much oil is. The reason why they have so much money is because the amount of oil that comes in from here is, I think it's unmatched throughout the rest of the world. Let me see this tweet. Okay, it's not confirmation. In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Which is, isn't this Surah Fatiha in a way? Or no, it's among the faithful are men who fulfill what they have pledged to Allah. There are some among them who have fulfilled their pledge, and some of them who still wait, and they have not changed in the least. Holy Quran. So it seems like they're insinuating that he's been martyred. Ya Allah. Okay, All right. Well, we could say that's close to as much confirmation. Yeah, but this is like what the news looks like. Unconfirmed reports suggest that Benjamin Netanyahu has been killed in an Iranian airstrike. Like, no, he's probably in Greece right now hiding. The difference is Khamenei is in Iran with his people, and these people are cowards. Really, Netanyahu, they're not even in Israel. They're in some bunker, probably in Greece or maybe on an island somewhere. They're not in Israel because they're cowards. The same way when they killed Yahya Sinwar, the leader of Hamas, where was he? He was on the front lines holding an AK-47. Yeah, Netanyahu's not dead. He's in Greece, bro. But they're cowards. It's the difference between... And the reason they're cowards is because why this happens and why there's evil in the world is these people fear death. You understand that? The people of Israel, these Jewish supremacists, the reason that they go on Epstein Island and why Trump thinks he's going to hell, why they try to become gods on earth, why people like Elon Musk will hoard $1 trillion is because they fear death. It's because they want to be immortal in this world. The afterlife, it scares them, so they want to become gods on this earth. So they manipulate and they try to take power from God. They want to be the creators. And so the reason they hide and cower, even when it's war with their people, is because they know if they die, they know deep down where they're going. But people like Yahya Sinwar, leader of Hamas, he's in Palestine. He's in Palestine defending his people in the destroyed building holding an AK-47 because he knows that if he dies doing the right thing, if he dies in an act of martyrdom, you get the highest rank in heaven. We don't fear death. We're not supposed to. Maybe the Iran is saying a lot of these Gulf countries, a lot of these people that prioritize dunya or prioritize money and tall buildings and this, then they can stray away. But it's a reminder that this life is short. And so Khamenei, if he did die, if you died in this act, especially during the holy month of Ramadan, inshallah, he gets the highest rank in Jannah and he gets eternal paradise. He gets the highest rank, he gets martyrdom. That's the highest achievement we can get. I mean. Yeah, he tweeted, wow, all martyrs have a high status, but the martyrdom of these air defense force officers who are defending our country in direct confrontation with the Zionist regime, the most malevolent enemy of Islam, is a martyrdom of great significance. Let's continue. So Iran's here, and it's a very mountainous region. So if you look at the terrain compared to Saudi is mostly desert, Iran is mountainous. And so Trump, we still need to watch his speech. He's saying that a lot of soldiers will die in warfare, that this is just a product of war. But as Professor Zhang detailed, if U.S. wants to deploy troops in Iran to destroy the government completely, they need to get around this mountainous region. And so if Khamenei is actually dead and he's martyred, I don't think the Iranians are going to be as demoralized as people think. They're ready. The people of Iran, they've been talking about this for a long time. They have a different mentality than the rest of the Muslim world when it comes to this. Look at the burning of Baal. You understand what a lot of these people think and how the real mentality compared to what it is in America and Israel, it's not the same. And so as soon as Tehran was hit, they retaliated in Tel Aviv. They struck back. And Tehran's right here, way up in the north of Iran, but it's the imposing threat right here. And so these are the Gulf countries. But Yemen, for example, it does not get put in the same category. Yemen is very different than Saudi. It seems like what they say, and I'm not saying this, is that Saudi is sold out and that they're allied, right? That's why they burn MBS on the Baal effigy next to Trump and Netanyahu. And it is right here. Look how close Saudi Arabia is, much bigger than Israel. Israel's the size of New Jersey. Saudi's right here. And they say that they're allied with them. Okay. So that's a little explanation. Israel is attacking the capital. We saw this. Here are the strikes. And they've been bragging about it heavy. So is America. So here's the Trump speech. It's about time we go see this. Here's Trump's speech. I'm sure a lot of you saw this. It's 8 minutes, but it's important to watch this. I'll speed it up and let this old fuck just bring his country into war. And I remember Trump tweeted in 2011 how much of a mistake it was. He campaigned on no new wars in 2024. And in 2016, he criticized Jeb Bush and he criticized all of his opponents for supporting Iraq war. And look at him now. A complete sellout. A shell of a man, a fraud, an old, disheveled, evil person who's probably going to burn in hell for eternity. I've met Trump. I've met his family. And I could not be more disgusted with how they're selling out their people for the Jewish supremacists. The legacy is tarnished. The Trump reputation will never be the same. And we got to make sure we hold them responsible for what they've done. First, I think the major catalyst was Trump marrying his daughter Ivanka to Jared Kushner, a rich Jewish Zionist. Ivanka converted to Judaism, so now he's married into the family. And then moving the U.S. embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, the holy city. And so Trump is probably doing this because he's on the Epstein files and he doesn't want to get blackmailed. He's 80 years old and he's more afraid of the blackmail coming out. He can't just fuck off. He can't just leave. He needs to take everybody down with him because misery loves company. Let's see what he said.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days. In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut that killed 241 American military personnel. In 2000, they knew and were probably involved with the attack on the USS Cole. Many died. Iranian forces killed and maimed hundreds of American service members in Iraq. The regime's proxies have continued to launch countless attacks against American forces stationed in the Middle East in recent years, as well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels and international shipping lanes. It's been mass terror, and we're not going to put up with it any longer. From Lebanon to Yemen and Syria to Iraq, the regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts. And it was Iran's proxy, Hamas, that launched the monstrous October 7th attacks.
October 7th is justification for warfare now. No new war, October 7th. You voted for? I didn't vote for Trump. I'll explain my strategy again. And I was detailing my tweets. I'm sure you guys saw the position that I had. The whole strategy, because I was saying nonstop, and I have a pin right here. I tweeted on October 12th, 2024, when it was still close with Kamala Harris. Tweeted no war with Iran. And I said I refuse to vote for Donald Trump. I refuse to vote for Donald Trump because he's clearly an AIPAC shill. The reason I worked on Yay 24 is because I understood that AIPAC was the biggest threat to America. Then my thought process was, when it became clear that Trump was going to win, let me align with this to try to bring MAGA people to the right side. Let me infiltrate from the inside in. Let me put on the MAGA hat. And at the election party, I had this major debate with Rabbi Shmuley. He had the Israel flag wrapped around him. And I said, America first. Well, wearing the America flag, I said, America first cannot happen until we put Israel last. That debate went extremely viral. It goes viral to this day. I didn't vote for Trump, but I knew that I could infiltrate that movement and try to do the best I could to try to get the patriots within the MAGA movement that have been betrayed to realize what was going on, to realize that the swamp is really Israel. That was my thought process. That was my strategy. Is it perfect? No, I'm not going to claim it was. But I didn't vote for Trump. And I would not have, after being extremely critical, I was tweeting pictures of Trump kissing the wall beforehand. But when it became clear that he was going to destroy Kamala Harris, I said it's going to be more effective if I join this side and I avoid criticism from other political commentators for being like, oh, look at you, you supported Kamala. I said, okay, I could avoid this, still hold my views about AIPAC, about Israel, about America first, and be able to use that movement for our own political gain. And I think it was extremely effective. I think it was. So that was my strategy. I think it worked. And I understand why people are criticizing it. But look back, if you want to see what I was saying, how many people were saying no war with Iran in the middle of 2024? Not only that, I tweeted, Iran is not our enemy in 2025. No war with Iran. And you can go back and you can see the tweets that I have criticizing Trump. You're saying, so you basically grifted? It's not grift. See, political strategy, it's all about optics. It's all about, strategy is extremely important with this. Because you could even say that it's like right now, me saying that I want to unify Christians and Muslims, that putting America first is in my personal gain. Putting America first and aligning with the far right, with the white nationalists. A lot of people in the UK, there was a very interesting conversation that I had with Mohammed Ajab and Ali Dawa yesterday, where they were saying, why do you align with, white nationalists in the America first position? And you got to realize that dividing them and trying to separate yourself from the far right Christians, it lets the Jewish supremacists win. They want more Goyim division. And what they do is they try to create Judeo-Christian values and then hate the Muslim. But what they don't seem to understand, what a lot of Christians don't understand, is that Muslims and Christians have so much in common, have way more in common, in fact, almost everything. But there's disagreements about the divinity of Jesus. And that stuff is not important. We both agree that he's the Messiah. We both believe he's returning. The Jewish supremacists, the people of Israel, they don't think that. In fact, they hate Jesus and they celebrate the coming of a false Messiah. And so my strategy is, instead of differentiating ourselves, let's try to unite with the Christians. Let's try to unite with them, because we do have, if you look further, we have the same political and religious goal. We have a lot in common, and it's more effective if we align with them. So I think that Mohammed Ajab, the UK Muslims, when they go on about white people and white supremacy, it's like the real problem is Jewish supremacy. White supremacy is so minor. Yes, it does exist, but it's so minor compared to what's going. If white supremacy was really the issue, why is Keir Starmer and Trump bending over backwards to go join the war and fight for Israel? It's Jewish supremacy that's in charge. So if I can get the white nationalists to see what I'm about, while redirecting the narrative away from what they're trying to paint the narrative that I want to convert everybody to Islam. That's why SNEAKO should be censored. You shouldn't align with SNEAKO, because he wants to evangelize and he wants to make everybody Muslim. No, I'm saying I want to unite with the Christians. I don't want to, my goal is not conversion with everything. I want to stop Jewish supremacy in America. I don't want them to expand into greater Israel. I don't want them to destroy the whole world. I don't want the Samson option. That's what's most important to me. You always have to look at your most important issue, and that's what it is for me. And so if there's an overlap, and type of one in the chat, if you guys are, say you're far right nationalists or you're white Christians or everything, I see a valuable alliance there. And I've been working on that for years. I've been working on trying to mend this and maintain this alliance. Yes, there's a lot of people that see that I've been trying to do this as well. That's part of the reason why I'm like, okay, let me not go too Muslim during Ramadan, because politically this might be more important. And I see it worthless to try to convince anybody to join the religion. I speak to Nick Fuentes all the time. I don't think he's going to convert to Islam anytime soon. I don't try to convert him. I don't try to do that stuff. Maybe some, but that's where the alliance really should happen. So that's what I was criticizing Mohammed Ajab, and even the Warner from my friend Warner, even Sonny, like Mohammed Ajab. These UK Muslims will always talk, because they see people like Tommy Robinson, and he's not a representation of white nationalists. Tommy Robinson's not a white nationalist. He's a Jewish shill. This guy doesn't count as a white nationalist putting his country first. He's not one of them. He's an IDF soldier. He was all over the Epstein files, allegedly. This guy's taking money from British people to go give it to his son so that he could look like a wigger on a private jet. This is not a far-right nationalist. This is a shill. But the literal far-right nationalists who care about their country, we have a lot more in common than people seem to understand. And focusing on that, our little petty disagreements, it doesn't help. Let's finish this Trump speech.
On Israel, slaughtering more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our citizens hostage. It was brutal, something like the world has never seen before. Iran is the world's #1 state sponsor of terror, and just recently killed tens of thousands of its own citizens on the street as they protested. It has always been the policy of the United States, in particular, my administration, that this terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon. I'll say it again, they can never have a nuclear weapon.
Why? And why could Israel have nukes? It's because the white Christian, Keir Starmer, Donald Trump, Hegseth, J.D. Vance, the white Christian has predominantly been subverted by Jewish supremacists. Iran could have nukes, but Iran can't. Judeo-Christian values is completely supreme right now. So we got to support the white Christians who don't push this regime anymore.
That is Why, in Operation Midnight Hammer last June, we obliterated the regime's nuclear program at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. After that attack, we warned them never to resume their malicious pursuit of nuclear weapons, and we sought repeatedly to make a deal. We tried. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. They didn't know what was happening. They just wanted to practice evil. But Iran refused, just as it has for decades and decades. They've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions, and we can't take it anymore. Instead, they attempted to rebuild their nuclear program and to continue developing long-range missiles that can now threaten our very good friends and allies in Europe, our troops stationed overseas, and could soon reach the American homeland. Just imagine how emboldened this regime would be if they ever had and actually were armed with nuclear weapons as a means to deliver their message. For these reasons, the United States military is undertaking a massive and ongoing operation to prevent this very wicked, radical dictatorship from threatening America and our core national security interests. We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated. We are going to annihilate their Navy. We are going to ensure that the region's terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region or the world and attack our forces and no longer use their IEDs or roadside bombs, as they are sometimes called, to so gravely wound and kill thousands and thousands of people, including many Americans. And we will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. It's a very simple message. They will never have a nuclear weapon. This regime will soon learn that no one should challenge the strength and might of the United States Armed Forces. I built and rebuilt our military in my first administration, and there is no military on earth even close to its power, strength, or sophistication. My administration has taken every possible step to minimize the risk to U.S. personnel in the region. Even so, and I do not make this statement lightly, the Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future, and it is a noble.
It's incredible to see the same goy slop work again and again. The weapons of mass destruction, everybody realized that major mistake, and I'm seeing people in the chat right now too. Trump has aura. See red Trump, get him Trump. The same exact playbook works time and time again. What's missing now is a false flag. Weapons of mass, if you still fall, it's blowing my mind. I'm seeing people in the chat fall for it.
Mission. We pray for every service member as they selflessly risk their lives to ensure that Americans and our children will never be threatened by a nuclear-armed Iran. We ask God to protect all of our heroes in harm's way, and we trust that, with his help, the men and women of the armed forces will prevail. We have the greatest in the world, and they will prevail. To the members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, the armed forces, and all of the police, I say tonight that you must lay down your weapons and have complete immunity, or, in the alternative, face certain death. So, lay down your arms. You will be treated fairly with total immunity, or you will face certain death. Finally, to the great proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations. For many years, you have asked for America's help, but you never got it. No president was willing to do what I am willing to do tonight. Now you have a president who is giving you what you want. So let's see how you respond.
It's not giving us what I want. This is the most unpopular war that America's ever had.
America is backing you with overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within your reach. This is the moment for action.
Yeah, they bombed a school. They're killing children, bombing airports. It's a complete disaster, and he's okay letting American soldiers die for the Jewish supremacists. 80 years old and can't let it go. Completely okay. He's saying there's going to be American casualties, but it doesn't matter. It happens at war. He don't care. He don't care one bit. Okay, there's a lot more to cover. Are there any more developments? Send me as well. And yeah, let's continue on. Hold on a second. This is so fucking frustrating. Yeah, I'm a little bit, just a little shocked. Hold on. Details. Here we go. My apologies. Just was able to fix something. Breaking news. What's this? Yeah, a lot of this is not credible. A lot of what you guys is not credible. Any other breaking news? Anything else?